truck driver named David Malone was injured severely in a car accident. The injuries he sustained created a dangerous amount of pressure on his brain, so doctors were forced to remove a fist-sized piece of his skull to relieve the pressure. After a few months, the swelling had subsided, and he was ready for a surgery to replace the missing portion of his skull, so he was placed on a waiting list and sent home. He waited almost a year for the surgery, afraid to leave his home, because any sort of damage to the exposed part of his brain could be fatal. After finally receiving the surgery, he was paralyzed on the right side of his body and barely able to speak. Mr. Malone was one of the many victims of the Canadian healthcare system. The government runs Canada's healthcare system, and it, along with the government-run healthcare systems of many other countries, is low quality, full of bureaucracy, and in some cases, downright backwards. However, there are some politicians, particularly those in Congress, who advocate for the implementation of a similar system in the United States. These supporters of government-run healthcare argue that a government-run system would be less expensive, they would give everyone equal care, and the government-run systems in other countries are better. However, government-run healthcare must not be used in the United States, not only because our current system is one of the best in the world, but it would also be paid for by higher taxes and budget cuts, resulting in lower quality. Proponents of government-run healthcare claim the government-run system would be less expensive than the current one. However, in order to pay for such a system, taxes must be raised, and budget cuts will have to be made. With so many people's healthcare to be paid for, the government would have no choice but to make budget cuts in healthcare or other areas. In countries with government-run healthcare systems, citizens often pay high taxes to counter the deficit caused by the system and its coverage of all citizens. For instance, British citizens pay about 11% of their weekly income to the government's National Health Service. In the United States, taxes are already high enough, and they would be guaranteed to rise to even higher levels to pay for everyone's coverage. Your wallet will take a big hit. By law, you and your family will be required to have health insurance, said the health editor of U.S. News and World Report in an August 28, 2009 CQ Researcher article. Taxpayers will also shell out to help out those without coverage, she added. Government-run systems also usually have less advanced equipment and less development of new drugs or treatments due to restrictions on price set by the government and little or no funding for research. Although patients might not pay directly for their care, they will end up paying for it through increased taxes and lower quality care. One of the main arguments for a government-run healthcare system is that it will provide equal care to everyone. Although equal care will be provided to everyone, that care will be of much lower quality, and there will be long waits for care. The government will not be able to afford the highest quality care for everyone, so it would inevitably have to be rationed, with some people being denied expensive treatments and being forced to endure long waiting periods for care. These waits are unfortunately commonplace in government-run systems around the world. Currently, the United States has one of the shortest waiting times for non-emergency surgery in the world, while England has one of the highest, where many hospitals are forced to implement minimum waiting times that can be as long as 6 months, as stated in 2006 Telegraph article entitled "Too Successful, the Hospitals Forced to Introduce Minimum Waiting Times." The minimum waiting times were put in place because certain hospitals exhausted their limited resources by treating patients too quickly. In Canada, patients wait an average of 17.8 weeks for referral to treatment by a specialist, like the neurosurgeon for whom Mr. Malone had to wait. These waiting lists force some patients to seek care in other countries that have private systems. They exist because it would be impossible to provide service to every citizen when they need it while still staying within the budget. More than a few analysts have concluded that nothing less than sharp cuts in physician fees, hospital reimbursements, drug prices, and insurance premiums, as well as a reduction in patient benefits, will seriously deal with rising costs. Rationing being necessary, stated Daniel Callahan of the Hastings Center, a bioethics research institution, in the previously mentioned CQ Researcher article. Despite the fact that everyone will get equal care, that care will be of much lower quality than it already is. Certain reports portray the U.S. healthcare system as being worse than the healthcare systems of other countries. Although the World Health Organization ranked the U.S. 37th in the 2000 survey of World Health System, this overall ranking is misleading. The U.S. was ranked first by the WHO in responsiveness to patient needs, which many consider to be the most important part of healthcare. The The WHO survey also counted the spreading and affordability of care, which are areas in which government systems excel. Although the spreading of healthcare indicates that care is easily accessible, it in no way means the care is of good quality. The United States has some of the highest survival rates for colon, prostate, and breast cancer, as well as the first or second highest ranking for kidney, liver, and heart transplants, as stated in a January 8, 2010 Wall Street Journal article entitled Where U.S. Healthcare Ranks Number 1. In addition, 8 of the top 10 medical advancements of the last 20 years were developed in or had roots in the United States. Despite its overall ranking by the WHO, the current U.S. healthcare system, preeminence in these crucial categories, appears to be one of the world's best. The introduction of a government-run healthcare system in the United States would not be a step forward for the U.S. It would indeed be a step backward. The higher taxes, lower quality care, and long waits for care will completely outweigh the coverage of everyone. The government has arguably never been able to run anything as well as private industry, so what makes it seem like they would be able to run our healthcare? Despite the fact that people would not be paying for it directly, and it would supposedly provide care for all Americans, the system would be financed by higher taxes, lower quality care, and long waits would be a result of budget cuts. Under no circumstances should the United States adopt any form of government-run health